Wike drops bombshell. Buratai ordered soldiers to rig 2019 election, allegedly. Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to Gist Angle, where we bring you verified news updates and trending stories in plain language. Now, today's gist is a hot one. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has made a strong allegation against former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, retired. According to Wike, Buratai allegedly directed military interference to rig the 2019 Rivers State governorship election against him. Now let's break this down. What really happened? Wike made the claim on Thursday during a press conference at his residence in Gwarinpa, Abuja. He was actually reacting to his recent clash with a naval officer over a disputed property in Gaduwa district, which has been linked to a former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awa Gambo, retired. During that altercation, videos showed Wike arguing with uniformed officers over control of the land, an incident that quickly went viral. Now, former Army Chief Buratai had earlier reacted to that incident. In a post shared on his verified Facebook page, Buratai criticized Wike's behavior, calling it a reckless act that could threaten national security. He said Wike's public outburst against a uniformed officer undermined the authority of the commander-in-chief and the discipline of the armed forces. According to Buratai, such actions could have far-reaching implications for the military's command structure and public trust. But Wike didn't take that lightly. Responding sharply during his press briefing, he fired back at Buratai with strong words. He said, and I quote, "He cannot teach me. This was the same man who allegedly directed his GOC to rig my election in 2019. He couldn't rig me. He lost. He told his GOC to buy me. He couldn't buy me." Now, that's a bold claim. In essence, Wike is saying Buratai was not only partisan during the 2019 election, but that he allegedly tried to use the military to influence the result against him and even threatened his life. He went on to say, "You are a young man, a commissioned officer. I am a minister representing Mr. President. When you are an officer and you are doing something illegal, even if it's an order given to you, that job you are doing is still illegal." So from Wike's tone, it's clear he sees this as both a political and moral issue, one that questions the neutrality of the military. Let's quickly rewind back to 2019. That year, Rivers State had one of the most tense elections in the country. There were reports of heavy military presence, disruptions of collation centers, and voter intimidation. At the time, Wike, who was governor under the PDP, accused the military of taking sides with the APC. Buratai, as the then Chief of Army Staff, denied those claims, insisting that the military only maintained peace. But now, years later, Wike is bringing it up again, this time linking Buratai personally to those alleged actions. Since his new outburst, the reactions have been mixed. Some people believe Wike is finally speaking truth that many politicians were too scared to voice. Others think he's going too far by reviving old political battles and dragging the military into it again. Within political circles, supporters of the PDP are saying the minister has always been a victim of power play, while others from the APC are calling it a diversion tactic. As for the military, there has been no official response yet from Buratai or the defense headquarters as at the time of this report. Now my people, let's reason this gist small. If what Wike is saying is true, that a top army chief allegedly gave orders to interfere with elections, then that's a serious matter. It means our democracy could have been compromised by those meant to protect it. But if the story is exaggerated or politically motivated, then it's another example of how power struggles spilled into public space and drag institutions into controversy. Whichever way we look at it, these are serious allegations that deserve a clear investigation. Because if the military is ever seen as taking sides in elections, public trust will drop, and that's dangerous for democracy. However, this whole drama shows how deep the tension still runs between civilian politicians and military institutions. Every time there is a clash, whether about land, authority, or elections, it opens old wounds about Nigeria's past when soldiers had direct political power. Wike's statement might also be a way to remind his critics that he has survived multiple political battles and he's not afraid to confront anyone, even retired generals. It could also reignite debate about whether former service chiefs should be drawn into politics after retirement. Another thing we must note is Wike's personality. Wike is not a quiet politician. He is bold, emotional, dramatic, and very expressive. His supporters love him for speaking straight. His critics say he talks too much. But one thing is clear. When Wike tells a story, he tells it with feeling. So when he says he told his GOC to buy me, he couldn't buy me, that is not just political talk. It is him framing himself as someone who survived force and intimidation. It builds a narrative of courage and resistance. And in politics, perception matters almost as much as facts. As for Buratai, he didn't attack Wike politically. He criticized Wike's behavior in the recent property incident and said it was reckless and dangerous for national security. So from Buratai's camp, Wike's response may look like an attempt to distract Nigerians from the current controversy by digging up a heavy allegation from the past. And because Buratai is a respected figure in military circles, this accusation could create tension not just between the two men, but also between political and military institutions. For me, this gist isn't just about Wike and Buratai. It's about power, accountability, and respect for democratic institutions. If there's any truth in what Wike said, Nigerians deserve to know the facts. But if it's just another political exchange, then it's a reminder that our leaders must choose their words carefully because the military is not something to joke about. So my people, this gist somehow carries weight. And instead of getting carried away by emotions or taking sides, here are what really matters going forward. 1. Will there be any investigation, or will this allegation disappear like many others? 2. Will the military release a formal statement? Silence sometimes fuels more speculation. 3. What does this mean for future elections? And that's where we'll leave it for now, my people. We'll keep following this story closely and bring you updates as it unfolds. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next update.
It's just Angle.